How's it going, everyone? It's your boy James, Get in the Garage, and we're hanging out basically in my pajamas. Long day at work on top of not been feeling so good. The bug hit the entire family. The little boy got it first, and then we started falling like dominoes. But that's okay. I have a little bit of time to come out here and talk to you guys, which is great. I'm trying to take every spare moment right now to take all the opportunities I can to come into the garage when appropriate, as far as what's going on in my life right now. Very busy. What do? Keep pushing forward. I'm going to address, in my opinion, one of the elephants in the room. I don't know if you guys have seen this Trek bike behind me. It says Trek 6000. Don't know a ton about it. Bought this bike when I first started getting into the whole hobby. So I've had it for about a year now, and it's just been sitting in the background. And then when my brother wanted to get back into it, I was like, this is the perfect bike. Mountain bike, probably from the 90s, maybe 2000s, maybe more like 2000s. I really have to look it up and do some research on it because huge opening, we'll bypass some of this stuff and all this jazz, and this whole thing ended up being just a flippin' nightmare. Partially my fault. I think what happened was that I went into it with way of overconfidence, and we built the whole thing, and we threw the BF something on there. The one motor that got me into the hobby to begin with. I'll throw a picture of it in the video or show you like a little rip or something like that. Great motor. I was having issues with it, and at the time I thought it was more of an alignment issue on the Queen. I don't know if you guys remember, that's what it was. The last time I took the Queen out with that specific engine, I burnt the ignition. I burnt the spark plug wire, and that is one unit basically. It's all internalized. And what happened was I burnt that, and I fried it, and then you guys probably never saw it again. But what happened was I did buy a new ignition for it, and I ended up putting it onto this bike, and I got it started one time, and we started going pretty good, but the alignment was so bad with this rim, it was just issues. There were so many issues. The biggest issue is this down tube right here. It's super thick. It's a big boy. So getting the motor itself into this position was just honestly a little bit of a nightmare to begin with. You can't really see it, but even with the secondary mounts, even with the CNC mount, the CNC mount just brought it up way too high, which was kind of a bummer. And the CNC mount was actually too small, so it's bigger than 0.065. I should go grab my calipers, but I'm being lazy right now. So it's bigger than 1.65 inches on this beefy guy, which, I don't know, I just need to dink around with it and figure that out. But what I'm trying to say is this is the elephant in the room. What I want to do is turn this into a single speed bike, but somehow come up with a system where I can switch engines in and out quickly, so that way this can become more of a test bike. Get new engines, throw it on here, break them in on this guy, the test bike, see where everything goes on one bike. Keep the other two bikes as the hobby bikes, or maybe flip-flop or trade, or or just, you never know, you have 3 bikes, 2 might go down. Very, very plausible, especially in this hobby. Why a third bike? I think it's just going to help the channel. I think it's going to give more consistency as far as like what different engines are actually, what different engines are actually versus each other, is what I'm trying to say. This engine versus this engine versus that engine versus myself, because I do want to get to the next level. I want to port. I want to get down the rabbit hole. It's just all time just depends on that. So I just want to go though. I want to go down the rabbit hole, and I want to have a lot of fun with this kind of stuff because it's such a great little hobby. It's so much fun. Especially now the winter's coming. That's kind of would be great filler material. Just taking engines off, just doing calculations, and then just putting it back together, and that might be able to fill some time and stuff like that. But anyways, guys, I am jibber jabbering forever. So, long story short, this will be a future bike. I do not know when. I have no idea. Right now, this guy right here, this is another Wildcat 80. I was just so impressed with the other one on the Banshee Queen that I bought this a long time ago, sat on it just because this was going to be my backup motor just in case something happened to one of those two. Probably still going to be that kind of a motor for now because I have a couple ideas where I want to go with this, but again, it comes down to I want to do it right. Just because this bike has so much potential. Just for some examples, again, that down tube is just so thick. Again, we'll bypass that. We'll figure out something else better, but it's just so sturdy. It is aluminum from my understanding, but it's just the thickest aluminum like mountain bike I've ever seen. Maybe not ever, but it's just a beefy, it's just a beefy, you know, well, it's a Trek, you know. Treks are just about as good as they get. Not disc brake in the back, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I think these V brakes and C brakes are working just fine for me. I know a lot of guys say go for it, which I do. I do plan on testing them out. I gotta see for myself to see what is and isn't good. And for you guys, so that way you can save your money and maybe make your own decisions with a little bit more information. But like I said, overall, this is just such a great platform. I just gotta figure out a little bit more adjusting, a little bit more back wheel and stuff like that. Which then brings me to my next subject. So if I'm gonna switch this bike to a single speed, I do have this rear wheel. I think this one's disc, so maybe I can't use this one. But here's the thing, you guys tell me. I know it says disc, but when I bought this wheel from Amazon, it's a BBR 12 gauged wheel, so I want to utilize it. My question to you guys is, I did buy it as just a free wheel, not disc. I'm just a little confused because it does seem like this could, and let me know, but this does look like it is a rim brake, right? Again, I could be wrong. Maybe they're just actual rim, not counting the spokes and the hub and all that stuff. Maybe that's just the same for both bikes, and if that's the case, then why wouldn't you be able to use rim brakes rather disc brakes? Let me know. If I need to get a different rim, I'll get a different rim. But I don't know. Just very curious because we still have the disc brake hookup. Need some help on this rim because I spent money on it, didn't think about it, kind of put it away, and then looked at it. I was like, what is this? What is going on? Also, too, what do you guys do for spacing your rim? I just feel like this rim with this hub setup is just there's gonna be so much slack in between. So do you guys just throw on like a bunch of bolts? Like, what do you guys do? Because I'm getting a little confuzzled. I need a little bit of help. You know, been doing this for a little bit. Again, I've said it 1,000 times, no expert, no clue half the time. And when it comes to the rims and the back wheel, to me, it just always seems to be the hardest, especially when it comes to bike. I'm telling you guys, bike stuff is harder than the actual motor, in my opinion. Just because there's so many different kinds. There's so many different avenues. I'm gonna have to figure out how to turn that to a single speed. Can I turn it to a single speed? Do I need to get a different wheel? Like I want a solid axle. I just got so many different things. You got caskets, you got the other one that goes with these kind of different things. And this is a conversion from the original rim. This is not the original rim. This is a secondary rim that we put on here, and it just has issues. So, I don't know, guys. Let me know. Let me know your opinions. This is your boy James, Brenno's Garage. We're out of here.